leaves and sticks depending on the time of the year. So it was kind of like a mellow cruise with like when it got cleared up, you'd play a little bit, but I never did it at night. At nighttime, it was always like there was like 3 sections of road on that mountain next to the gorge.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because there was that one road, I forgot what it was called, but it would take you over that whole mountain pass over to Watako towards Hirosaki.
Yeah.
And like as you get to the top, it's like you could tell no one maintains that mountain road.
Right. And they would have like those little overlooks, like the scenic
and worse the higher you got.
Right. And you'd lose your shoulder and it'd be like a lane and a half wide. You remember all those overlooks that they had built and they were all concrete and you could stop and pull over there? They had parking lots that were like empty all the time.
Yeah.
Like they were good spots, but you're also like at the top of a mountain and that's where you'd see like all the drop offs and shit. It'd have like a single guardrail for like one corner and that was it.
I never messed around up there because that's just too sketchy.
That shit's where you get fucked.
But like gradually moving up to that area to get to that sketchy part is where the good roads were. Because at one point there's like a 4-lane road that's just like big sweepers with lights and stuff. That's where you play.
Did you guys ever like break while you were out to where you had to like hard stop and like fix shit while you were there? Or was it pretty lucky to get out and get back?
That was good. Yeah.
You were
just
good?
Ball joints and stuff.
Yeah.
No crashes.
Right. Dennison got in a crash out there. I remember that.
I heard about that. Yeah.
But I don't know how he made it back. Maybe that's a different episode.
I heard about him having a crash and then Brady's incident where he hung an Evo off like a rock that like into a huge drop on that mountain.
What?
Like he almost drove his car off.
Oh my God. Yeah, Dennison wrecked his 14 and I remember he was shook up for a while. But that's it. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But I mean, not many people mess around up there either. Like
there's actually some Japanese crews.
Yeah.
That they're not social at all.
Right.
Like there's a Lawson's that we'd stop at right before we'd start like getting to the gorge. And I remember every once in a while we'd see like a support van or like
no shit.
What are those cars? Those like K cars that are turboed, like Suzuki Altos.
Yeah.
Like toge runner guys with like jacks and equipment in them.
Like running
and
grip?
Running grip with like a drift car.
Gotcha.
And like every once in a while we would see them out there just like they were just like us.
Right.
Couple buddies here and there and then that was it. No one talked. No one ever decided to like hang out.
Yeah. Because
everyone knew like it's just hit it and quit it and get out.
Right. It's weird, dude, because a lot of like the fastest, like most, I don't know. You see a lot of people like I know drifting is most popular, but you would catch. I mean, even with the Altos being a support car, I remember seeing a lot of those out there just ripping on the roads, anyways. Like,
they
tuner
kick
K
ass.
cars running grip, just like fucking going quick as shit too. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to go through those areas because it's even when we were out of town, if you're driving around in the mountains or whatever, you'll see spots like you'll see the marks on the road or whatever.
Yeah,
you'll just know. Yeah,
like I know what's going on here. I know what we're doing because there was also that spot, and maybe that was up by Tawada too, where they had like that big onsen like hotel spot, and it was like a 3-way intersection. You know what I'm talking about? It was like the road kind of came together, and there's a third road, and there's this huge, just like tarmac spot that was always marked up with skids.
Yep. It was like a triangle, right?
Yeah.
So you come up from here after you,
and it
was break right off of the main gorge run road. You drive up some hill, and then there's if you look on Google Maps, actually, of that location, it used to be a parking area with like a gazebo lookout.
Mm-hmm.
And like since there's a triangle, you could enter here, Manji hit the point, and then drive into the parking area.
Oh yeah,
and then like do whatever.
Nice.
If that's the same spot we're talking about,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
that sounds familiar because it was exactly triangular, and like the whole center section of it was just nothing but skid marks. I was like, all right, bet. Let's see what we got going on. Let's talk about Oki. Did you ever drift at Oki, Quan? Allegedly.
I plead the fifth.
God damn it, you motherfucker! See, get out so we can talk about this shit.
Nah, so I didn't do anything. Like I said, mostly I have videos of it. Like so, literally, like there's a mountain. I cannot remember what the name of the mountain, but it was like we used to go there, take like a good like 30-40 minutes to drive up there. And I remember people used to like always go there like all the time to like drift. And even like the locals know like, hey, you're gonna drift up here, but like they had like a rule like, hey, like you'll hit it and like you don't hit this corner, but like you'll just hit everything else like that, and then because there's houses right there, and people
Right.
just like go up the hill, and they were just like go at it all freaking night, man. I remember like we had like curfew hours and stuff like that. You know, we had to like be in, but,
Right.
like we would just literally like, all right, well it's freaking 11 or 12. You know, we can't go back to base. So what we're doing is like, all right, man, we're gonna ride the freaking go up there. So like we do that and just watch and have good little videos like that. You know, and chill, eat, stay at the Lawson's down the hill, and you know, eat there and hang out, and then you know come back around like where it's like 5 o'clock in the morning, and then you know come back on base.
Nice.
But yeah, there was definitely a lot of cool little videos like that. You know,
Dude, that shit's
people doing trains and you know stuff like that. So
right. Curfew definitely made things like a lot trickier, I think.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, this dude didn't have to deal with that shit.
yeah, facts.
I'm
But
so
it's
jealous,
crazy because
dude.
I didn't have a curfew, but I never stayed out till 5 in the morning
Right.
when the sun came up. Like I've always seen the videos of people going out like 2, 3 in the morning and like still drifting when the sun's coming up, and I'm like, how the fuck do they do that shit? I just can't. I don't know. I just couldn't see myself. I can't drive under that like kind of fatigue.
Right. Yeah, for sure. We road tripped, and I remember we pulled into Misawa at like 3 or 4 in the morning. And like the only reason we passed through the tolls, because I think they would catch people at the tolls, wouldn't they? Like if you had a Y plate,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
but we still had kanji plates on this car that we picked up, so they didn't question it. They just let us through.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I mean, that was the latest that I was ever up or doing anything. But it's weird, man. It's like a whole different world when you've got to be in by 11 or midnight,
yep.
and then you're in Japan at like 3 in the morning, and
Yeah.
everything's just quiet, and you're
Yep,
like,
it's super quiet. And then
what
like
is this?
then I remember like when I made like freaking rank, that way you can stay out because you know like after like you make rank you can stay out like after a certain you can stay out pretty much all night. You just can't drink whatever. So like
Is that what it was?
yeah, you had to be like an E6 to stay out.
Oh,
Yeah, for one Masawa, I'm not sure how.
Right.
Yeah, but like so yeah, after I made that, then like they were like, all right, man, you know, I was like running around. It was like dead quiet. So like you know I'll be in the car driving and it'd be just like nothing outside. I'd be like, yo, this is kind of weird, bro. Like.
Some Silent Hill
Yeah,
type
it's like
shit.
yeah, it's like silent, and especially you know, since it's like it's foggy sometimes, and I'm like, what the hell
Yeah,
is
it gets
going
hella
Dude,
foggy
I'm
there
like,
all
what
the
the-
Yeah,
time.
I'm
Masala
like-
is Silent Hill.
I'm like, what
swear.
the fuck is going
For
on
real.
here? Like,
For real, dude. Yeah, you get by the beach with all the creepy trees and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, Silent Hill.
super dark. Let's wait for like the foghorns to go off.
Right, right.
I
well,
have
we-
I have drifted in the morning though.
like
like-
first thing.
First thing, like waking up at 1 or 2 a.m. and then going drifting.
Oh yeah. Sleep for like 3 hours, and then you're like, all right,
Chop it, chop
yeah.
it.
The
Let's
Bisu,
go.
the Bisu trips, like leaving at 2 in the
Oh,
morning,
yeah,
the
yeah.
4-hour drive.
yeah,
Gates open at 8.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah,
Let's
drifting
get
for
it.
breakfast.
right. So let's go over our Ebisu trip, and then we'll go over Jared's.
Mhm.
So Quan and I drove down. I posted a photo of this actually on the, on the
Aha.
Instagram. Fuck it, you know which one I'm talking about. I posted a photo of this like a long time ago on the podcast Instagram, but Quan and I drove down with Donnie, Donald Jackson, Pink Ranger Drift, and I remember we kept pushing the time back because we were supposed to leave Misawa at like 7 p.m.
Yeah,
and
something
then
like
it
that.
was 8 p.m.
Then it
and
turned-
then it was 11 p.m. and I was like a fucking senior airman. I'm like, yo, we gotta go. I was like, I'm gonna break curfew.
We gotta go.
I'm gonna get butt fucked until I die. Like, we gotta go. And I just remember we finally left at like 11. You drove for like 20 minutes, and then you're like, hey, bro, you wanna take over, and then I'll take over a
20
little
minutes?
later. Dude, he
Dang.
drove for like we made it to like Hachinohe, and then he's like, all right, bro, if you want to take over driving, I'll pick up at like 4 in the morning, and then we'll keep going. And it's only a 5-hour drive to Ebisu anyways.
Yeah.
So motherfucker was like awake by the time we get. He's like, oh shit, we here right now? What are we doing? And so we drove all night, and we're like pulling over rest stops and shit at like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning, whatever, with Donnie. And Donnie's got this 3-car hauler, and he's got a K truck, the JZX 100,
Yeah.
and then Jake's old 180 that had a non-turbo SR.
Yep.
And getting to Ebisu was like, I mean, Darius and I just talked about it, but it's like a lot more in the mountains than I think people think. You know, I think they think like Ebisu's just this kind of spot
Flat.
that's there, but it's like to get
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
right off the highway, it's like you're going twists and turns and under bridges that don't fit, fucking trucks.
Yeah, huge trailers.
Fun fact for Misawa guys, there's only 5 turns to get to Ebisu.
Oh,
You
really?
turn 5 times. Literally 5 turns that whole trip.
Yeah.
From
Damn.
the time you get onto the toll road. Actually, if you were to leave POL gate, that there's no turns. right? Because PO Gate Road goes all the way. You hop on the toll road and you're still going straight.
Yeah.
You exit. As soon as you exit, you take 5 turns to get to the gates of Ebisu.
Yeah.
Which it fucking blew my mind. When I was looking at maps, I was like, what? Just drove 4.5, 5 hours and I only turned 5 times.
Right. We went there, and you know that one bridge that you have to go under right before the gate? You go under it, and it goes tees off, and then you turn.
Yep.
Well, Donnie had the K truck on the top of his cargo truck, and then he had the chaser underneath it. And with the truck all the way up, he didn't smack it, right? But we stopped, and he was like, "We're not gonna make it under this fucking this shit." And there's like cars lined up behind us.
Like, wait, is there clearance for it?
No.
And
so we're like, what the fuck are we gonna do? We're like 4 inches from clearing this tunnel. And so Donnie was like, all right, bro, so we're gonna lower this top shit all the way down to like the roof of the chaser, you know what I mean?
And so he's like slowly, I have a video, he's like slowly just screaming like it's like trying to get through
like the top of the bridge.
Yeah, he's like, it's right there. So he's like literally like he's like doing some fitment test, like it's right there. And like he gets it right through and he's just going and going. And finally he made it through and I was like, yeah. Like
yeah. If that fucking K truck didn't have the roof rack or whatever on the back, it would have been fine. But it's got those knobs that stick up higher than the truck did.
Yeah.
And so it was like right there the whole way down. And then when you first roll through the Ebisu gate, you go right up that hill and then you go around that hairpin.
Yeah.
And so he's in this huge truck that like barely has a working clutch, and he's like burning the clutch out trying to go up this hill.
Yeah.
And then so we get there, we unload and shit. So we camped at Minami, like in the pits of Minami, right where the D1 cars park. And I think that was my first time at Ebisu where I was like, oh, this is like a like around the clock type shit.
Yes.
Because I would be in my tent, like my tent was fucking bougie, dude. I had the setup. But I was sleeping and I wake up at like 3 a.m. and it's just like bah, 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 and I'm like, these motherfuckers, dude. Like
no sleep at all.
I thought I was getting
Friday
sleep.
night drift.
Yeah. What was your favorite night drift spot? Because I saw you guys running. What was it?
North Course, Kita Course.
Which one is that? Kita. Oh,
North
yeah.
Course.
That's the fast one, right?
Schmedium fast.
Schmedium fast.
Higashi's the fast one.
Yeah.
That's
North
the
Course is the one where you've
gear
got
track.
you got the hairpin at the bottom of the hill, right? And then you come up the hill into that huge like backwards
you
entry.
bang
shit.
up to third gear on that hill, and then it's like a triple manji and a sweeper.
Jesus.
And then another couple S turns.
Yeah.
That's the spot.
Damn, dude. I will say, like, the couple times that I night drifted, I liked it so much better because I feel like you kind of get out of your head. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it was like you can't see the edge of the track, so I felt like
I never had the energy to do it.
To night drift?
Yeah, no.
You were sleeping or what?
Out of all, I went 5 times.
Yeah.
And I night drifted once, and it was for like a handful of laps, and I just couldn't do it.
What was
exhausted, bro?
Did you guys always pit at the same spot?
Either Minami or a school course.
Would you camp there too?
No.
Where would you camp at? Or would you stay at a hotel or some shit? No
shit. Mountain.
Damn.
10 minutes away.
You got money.
Yeah, you bougie motherfucker.
No, it's the drift hotel. Like they cater for Ebisu people and mountain people that go hiking, and
yeah,
it's nice. They have a drift sim set up there and everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
And I think like you can get like 5 people to a room, and just like it's not that expensive. Has an onsen, food, breakfast.
That's right outside the gate, basically, right?
Like a 10-minute drive.
But that's not in town.
It's on the mountain with Ebisu.
Yeah. Because what's the closest town over there?
Was like
Nihonmatsu.
Yeah.
You got when I said 5 turns to get there, that's if you exit at Fukushima.
Yeah.
And then if you were to keep going to the next town after Fukushima's Nihonmatsu,
yep,
where Up Garage is.
Yeah.
And Up Garage is literally right up the mountain or down the mountain from Ebisu.
Right.
But that's the closer, because it's kind of closer on that side of the mountain.
So you would just leave the cars at Ebisu and then go.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Yeah,
that's weird. I mean, because our experience, like, we just camped there, and so the cars were just like right in front of our tent, basically.
Yeah, or sleeping in the car.
But again,
actually, no, we
also
all
in the car and it was cold as shit, dude.
They were all dailies, so we would drive the cars to the hotel.
Oh, gotcha.
And then we'd always have a rental van from the shop.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the weekend commuter to get around with everyone.
Yeah. So we didn't give this background. Jared used to work at the auto hobby shop that we talked about earlier with the lifts and the tires and all that shit. And he alluded to it, of course. But they used to rent out these vans that you could take on road trips and shit. And they were like fucking nice. Yeah. Nice fucking vans.
Toyota Alphards, Toyota Belfires.
dude, like the back
With-
seats would recline
with
and-
government toll passes.
Yeah. So all the shit was paid.
Yeah.
They were nice as shit, dude. And then we came back, and I was like, all right, Jess, we got to get